big up, big up, and welcome to Liberal 12 Minute Show. I hope that you guys can hear me okay. And on my other computer for today, so hopefully we still have some decent interaction, but we're going to be doing the preview today. Big up to Red for Life, big up to Nigel. We have the Irishman joining us as well. I got my headphones on too, obviously, just in case. Irishman, can you hear me?
Yeah, but you sound weird.
I sound weird. Okay. Let's try to do my best for it. I hear myself a little echo. Let me double check on my audio here because I know that it's about all I can do is.
It just sounds like you're on the phone. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not on the phone, but it is. I am unfortunately having to use my other computer today. That's why it's like a little bit different sounding, I guess. Hopefully, maybe I can do something with my adjustment of my microphone. Hopefully that does something, helps it out a little bit. Please do bear with us with my phone sounding voice right now. But we're going to be going into do this preview today because we won't be able to be doing a lead in tomorrow because this is a little bit too early and I have a couple of things scheduled for this weekend that I have to take care of. So we're going to be doing this preview. I know that the Irishman's probably got a different lineup set up or in his mind as to what he would think is going to be the lineup for this weekend than I do. I'm kind of thinking a little outside the box today with some of the choices that I've made. So, we're always open to hear what you have to do. And okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. And hopefully that does it. Hopefully that makes it a little better. We'll also, tell us who you think is going to be joining us or be a part of this, be a part of the whole lineup for Saturday because it's finally time. It's finally about that time. About to get back into Premier League football. So enjoyable to see. Big up to Callum. Big up to Bernie, by the way. Big up to Marion. Welcome. Big up to Nigel and Red for Life. Appreciate you guys. But Brian, so that they don't have to hear my crackly voice, I guess you could say so much. What are your thoughts on this weekend? Do you have are you excited about the weekend coming up?
Kind of snuck up a bit. The break was very long, and then all of a sudden we're playing again. So it has kind of snuck up a bit because we were kind of distracted, and that's what I really dislike most about international breaks is because there's no news and people just go crazy trying to fill in stuff, and they just some of the shit we were talking about. Even I mean, you were just talking about absolutely meaningless crap there sometimes, just to try and fill in some time because there's no real football happening. So it's good to have something to genuinely focus on. Back again, like that's that international break now. I think it's the middle of October. Mm-hmm. Again, there's another one, so it's not going to be that much longer. I think it's about a month maybe, but at least we have a decent run now. So it's a good way of breaking up things as well. To say like we've had 3 games before, right? We've done them now, so let's say that's part 1. This is now round 2 maybe of the next round of 3 or 4 games.
Right.
So yeah, I am. I'm really intrigued with this coach. I mean, I'm not really going too big in on players or stuff like that because I'm just really interested to see what he's doing in every match and what changes he might make because everything we've done so far has kind of improved this. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing if he has something up his sleeve, something new, like you're thinking about, making a few changes, doing different things. Does he have the same idea? I mean, he gave a few quotes there today. He was talking about not really said in. I think he said something like, in Holland, I could play pretty much the same team. That's what I used to do or whatever he said. But here, it's not really the same here. So he's hinting a little bit towards, potentially a change, but he wasn't giving much away at all. But he was kind of saying, "Look, it'll all be about fitness. It'll be about fitness."
Yeah.
So I am excited to see what he does tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to get the changes that I would make.
Right. Right. What okay, well, if you want, we can somewhat just dive right into this too, because I can understand some of the how about we give I'm gonna give what I would expect him to do, or what I'm expecting him to do at least. You can give your two variations of what you would do and what you would want him or what you expect him to do, I guess, as well, if that's easier. But let me make sure here. I'm going to bring this up for all of. I actually did update, and maybe you guys will notice I did update the kits too. So I was using last year's kits on the earlier ones, but now I've updated since this is to the new kits. But let me bring this up for you guys. All right, so this is what I'm perceiving as going to be my predicted lineup. I've gone with basically a really, really. I've taken out the South American players primarily because of the wear and tear of the travel. I have also not included Endo because of, again, the wear and tear of the travel. I would have probably started, or possibly have even started Endo, but because Curtis was home with the team, because Gravenberch didn't have that much travel to do, I'm still going to include him, and along with Dom. And then the back five stays the same for me. But as you can see, I put Curtis in as Macca's replacement. I also put in Chiesa as Lucho's replacement. That might be surprising to maybe get the start over Akpo, but that's what I'm doing for right now. And then I also included Nunez, because I think because Nunez didn't travel to South America, because he was on on the ban, and because he was with the team a little bit extra, I'm thinking that maybe he was able to get some of that extra direction and training to get the concept of what we're going to be doing for this weekend, and that's what I went with my starting lineup for this weekend. What would be yours? I know it's going to be different, so you can tell me what yours would have been.
Do you want what I would do, or do you want what I think he's going to pick?
You can do both. Just do both.
Yeah, because I think he's going to pick the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Unless, yeah, I mean, he was trying to hint at some things. It was hard to read from what he was saying. I think, yeah, I think he'll go with the same team.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be that. But I would go with the same team as him, except I would bench Diaz for Chiesa. That'd be it.
Okay.
That's the only change I would make. I
And
keep the same team.
Why would you bench Diaz and not bench possibly Maka too? Considering he's got a little bit of a
Chiesa, why would I bench Diaz for the same reason you benched him?
Well, I know, and that's why I was
Chiesa,
asking about Maka too. That's why I was asking.
different. No, but why would I bench Diaz? It's the same reason you'd bench him. And I think
Mm-hmm.
Chiesa needs. I think Chiesa needs to get. Well, it doesn't need to start. He needs to play some minutes. To be honest, I don't. I don't expect him to be too wild with the changes, but just to kind of make a change, really, to give him a start and not to be picking the same team as him. I know it's very, very boring. It's not a lot to kind of go into it about, but I don't see it being much different at all. And yeah, like I think McAllister, he didn't play that much. He travelled, and it's not like we have a Chiesa in McAllister's position that we've just brought in, and we want to give him a shout and give him a start, really.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the only the enforced change. I think you might see Yeah, I think Nunes is a coin toss because Jota has played a lot of football. But
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
me, I do want to see Chiesa, but I don't even think he needs to start. But look, they've got to get in somewhere. And now with
Certainly.
Diaz, it's an excuse almost to give Diaz a rest. Really,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's a good excuse, kind of, and you can give him half an hour to come on. Maybe if that's what it's needed. Is he a guy to say, look, I'm going to play you for an hour, and if it's not working out, but after an hour I can bring on a Diaz, or is he no, I'm starting Diaz and you'll be getting your half hours. So
Hmm.
it like I say, learning curve now. It's just a learning curve with Slot because like there's no body of work with Slot to say, well, this is what he usually does.
Hmm.
So it's very like when does he break this run of playing the same team? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
keep it fairly similar and but yeah, Chiesa's start will come, and it could be tomorrow.
It will come eventually. I think uh, I was I was on the fence of whether to start Chiesa or not, or at least from my perspective. Um, Primarily because I was thinking, oh well, I know Chiesa is certainly. I'm pretty sure he's going to get minutes in this game, but was whether it was starting minutes or whether it was off the bench minutes, like a good 30 minutes, probably like one of the first subs in the 60th or 65th minute, something around there. Then that's like that was that was my big question. But when I knew about the Maka thing being that he had a little bit of was feeling the pain in training. They played him in the first game. He played considerable minutes in that first game, and then they monitored his minutes going into that second game, being that he only played 26 minutes. I was thinking, okay, well, are they? They're not resting him for us, per se, but I mean, uh, maybe they're just trying to not overexert him a little bit, and that's why I was thinking of bringing in Cujo as a temporary replacement, and it's just to get a chance to see possibly. I mean, this is I'm not every team in the league is worthy of putting out your best, and not looking past that game or seeing it as a walkover. But I mean, it could be an opportunity to see a little bit of a mix-up without a Mako. Maybe even, I mean, maybe Gravenberch gets a quick sub, and we see Cujo with Endo or something like that in that second half. But that's at least my perspective.
You never know. We don't. You see, we don't know how fit he is.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. All these are all going to come down to fitness, and I'm just kind of working off the hypothesis that they're all fit to play
yeah,
because the only one that's out is Elliot.
right, right.
So,
I can go into that too. I do have the
well,
actual um, updates, at least from yesterday. I don't have today's updates. If anyone else has been, pulled or
oh,
not
it's
pulled.
just there's nobody injured apart from Elliot.
Yeah, I also have
So,
I have for Forest too as well. I'll give like basically, I did do a rundown of rundown of who I think is going to start for Forest as well, and I did, but we do know that Danilo or Danilo or Danilo, right?
Danilo, he's out. Yeah.
Yes, he is out. He's the only player out for Forest, and obviously,
Willie Bolly is out. Willie Bolly is out, and one of their other defenders. They've three out as
okay.
of today.
Oh, as
That
of
was
today,
the
okay.
last update. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because I had, again, I had yesterday's update. I only had one player on the list being injured, and none suspended for either of our teams. I have Forest. The Forest lineup that I think is going to happen would be Williams, Milenkovic, Murillo, Ains, Sangare, Anderson, Elanga, uh, Gibbs White, Hudson Adoy, and then Wood up in the front. Are any of those names really names that you want to keep your eye on? You want that you think that are going to be possibly problems for us tomorrow, or could be some bit of problems?
Ah, yeah, they're all good players, especially Gibbs White. I mean, Gibbs
Yeah,
White will be looking to get at Gravenberch and see how good he is. He's
yeah,
not you know, that's his area to pitch. So he's the kind of guy that'd be looking, oh, this Gravenberch kid, he's getting all the praise. Well, let's see how good he is.
mm-hmm.
He's one of those lads. Anderson, the kid they got from Newcastle, is good. Hudson Odoi is a good player. And like we're talking about Chris Wood, he could be, but he's been looked at after he comes back from the New Zealand game. He might have a knock, but he's a very dangerous player. If you allow him to play, like we saw it last year, he's no Haaland, but he can score goals.
Great.
Um,
Great.
so yeah, they do. Gibbs White, very techie player. Callum Hudson-Odoi being valued at £90 million not that long ago. Rapid winger.
Yeah.
Alanga, very good player. Good technical player.
Mhm.
But that's about if you give them the ball. If Gibbs White has the ball, like Wood has the ball, if we keep the ball, then they shouldn't be able to really hurt us that much. If you don't, like, those are the kind of guys, they're not like one chance and will kill you type guys. Chris Wood probably needs a few.
Mhm.
He needs a few touches to get into the game. Alanga, these guys, they can all hit one. But I think if we keep the ball, it shouldn't be that much of a problem, really.
Right.
But it's just, yeah, guys like you're talking. Would you be keeping an eye on him? 100%. I'd be keeping an eye on Chris Wood and keeping an eye on Morgan Gibbs White. 100%. And I'd also be watching Murillo because he's someone I'd like us to buy. But that's for another day. But I'd be watching him. I like him.
Interesting.
Really
I
like
didn't
him.
know. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't. That's interesting. Okay. Um, I wasn't really thinking about Mario.
Yeah,
But
Ward Prowse might get his debut. Like Hedor was saying, like Ward Prowse might get his debut. I don't know if he'll start, but we all know
yeah,
what he can do. We know
certainly,
you don't give him a free
certainly, you
kick,
don't
and
want
he,
to give away free
yeah.
kicks. Yeah, to him as well.
So, but I'm not sure. I don't think he started for them yet. Uh, so yeah, maybe he comes on, but yeah, again, he's a danger man. He's the kind of guy that could
Mm.
cause you a problem. But they're top players at most of these teams now. But for me, the real out and out, the kind of guy at that team that I could see being at a bigger team there is Gibbs White is the guy. He
Yeah,
really is the main man in that team. Creativity wise, he's one of the best.
I think. I
So
think also we have to keep an eye. I know that um, we were speaking on the whole defensive measures of Trent a couple days back. It's going to be a real test. But I think also depending on whether we see Trent in a little bit of an inverted role here and there, but if we see him more so stuck on as a right back and just as a right back, we could possibly see Ilanga trying to press and really push Trent to stick to stay back a little bit rather than go forward a little bit more so. But I'm not sure if that's me or not. Yep. Okay. Um. Oh,
what's up?
okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was still getting a little feedback on your mic, I think, or something. But we're good. It stopped now. But yeah. So I also wanted to say yesterday I asked you guys what was the last time. I know that Bernie put in a couple of answers yesterday, and I didn't give an answer for yesterday. I asked if you guys knew when was the last time Forest has beaten Liverpool at Anfield. I didn't know if anyone came out with a. Oh, I know the cyber 12. Man, this is buzzing. Uh, but the year, I'll give you guys another shot at it if you guys want to do it. It's a little trivia for you. What was the last year that Forest won at Anfield? If you guys want to take a guess, it's up to you guys. I'll make it I'll give you guys a minute here to like kind of get your guesses in and see if you get it right. 96 is not correct though. 96 is not correct.
I know somebody
Um,
was wishing Lee good luck there earlier on. I'm not sure. I missed what it was, but somebody was wishing Lee good luck. So here, whatever it is, Lee. Good luck
always,
with that
yeah.
too. Yeah,
Whatever it is, always,
not sure what it
Lee.
is.
Best of luck of whatever it is that you're about to embark on. 1972 is not correct, Red. Did you want to take a guess, by the way, Ryan? 87 is not correct.
1951.
1951. Wow, that's taking way back. But yeah, that's not correct either. That's not correct either. 87 is not correct. Give you guys guys got 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds before I announce what it was. I don't know if Bernie wanted to take another guess at it because I know that she guessed yesterday. 1995? No, it's not it. Not it. 1969 is the last time they beat us. 1969 is the last time they beat us at Anfield.
I think Red Armchair so far is the closest. I think he's 3 away. I haven't seen anybody closer, so I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
72 is only 3 away.
Yeah.
So
now that's at Anfield, by the way. That's not obviously against Forest. We have lost to Forest at Forest. And no, Bernie, you weren't. Initially, yesterday, Bernie was super close. I think she was like 72 or 73. And I was like, oh, you're close. But then she went to 76 and she was just going the wrong way. That's all.
Unlucky, Yusuf. You should have gone with it, man. You should have gone with it.
Yeah. Yeah, 1969. Yeah, I know for Vance. Yeah, the last time Forest has beaten us was at City Ground in October. Lucky 22s for them at least. It was October 22nd, 2022 when they beat us 1-0 at City Ground. That was the last time they beat us. But ever since, we've had some decent outings against them, and obviously we won 1-0 from Nunez's last-minute header, which a lot of us remember and we're very celebratory over. And then also we beat them 3-0 at Anfield in 23, and then we beat them also in Anfield 3-2 as well. So they did get a couple goals. We do have some players that can actually give us some bouts and some problems. But yeah. And we also, and obviously we also won, I think it was 1-0 against them in the FA Cup, I want to say. So, but yeah, right. So what would be some of your score predictions actually? What do you have as being for some of your score predictions for this? And you can include your scorers if you want. And please do include in the chat as well. I'll be sure to include it in the conversation. What do you have as being a score prediction?
Christ, I sound very predictable. 3-1, 3-1, 3-0, 3-1. Another three goals. Yeah, that sounds about right. Scores, don't know. Again, predictable. Mo. Mo, give one for Chiesa, and I went with Trent last week. So I'll go with Virgil. I'll go Virgil, Chiesa, and Mo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Phillips got 3-0. Roberts got 4-0. Highlor's got 2-0. Would be the obvious result, certainly. We've had a couple of 2-0s here. Youssef is going 2-0. I don't see us having a sniff at goal. I'm fast and furious here. 4-0 from Callum. He says Liverpool, Salah, a double, Diaz, and Szoboszlai. Nice. Make up for his missed opportunity possibly against United. Let's see. Cedric has 5-0. Wow. Darwin, Brace, Diaz, Dom, and Salah. Cedric has us coming out and just being well rested and rushing Forest. Let's see. Red Armchair Supporter has it 2-1 to Liverpool. Okay. And Lee has it 3-0. And let's see. And Bernie has it 3-0 as well. Okay. Got you. I want to say 4-0 so badly. I do want to say 4-0 so badly, but I'm gonna go with 3-0. You want? Where'd you go? 2-1? You said?
No, I can't decide. It's either 3-0 or 3-1. It's 3. Okay. Just 3 something. It won't be a draw.
3 something.
Joe.
I mean, you're kind of like you've been a little bit of an oracle for some people. So I mean, like that's why people are hanging on,
It
hanging
just
on
kind of
your every
feels.
word.
It feels like a kind of a 3 goal game. We
Okay.
feel like we're about 3 goals better than them. They're not that bad. They're not a team we could go out and absolutely tonk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. See, I'm just picking the same team and the same result as the last 3 games,
Yeah.
and the same goal scorers practically. So I'm trying to change it up a bit. But yeah, I got to stick with it. So yeah, I'll say 3-0.
3-0. Okay. Yeah. I'm going. I want to go. Yeah. I might as well go 4-0. Why not? Red for life. Go with my gut. 4-0, man. Even though actually, I'll go with my heart. That's not my gut because my gut's telling me 3-0, but my heart's telling me 4-0. Let's see. Diaz a hat trick. Wow, Revenite. Wow. I'm not even that bold to say a Diaz hat trick. It's been a while since we've seen a player get a hat trick really for our team. It's been a while. I'm trying to think of the last player to get a hat trick for us. Do you remember by any chance?
Mo,
Maybe. I thought
did
it
we
was
have a hat trick in the league last year?
I don't know.
I don't
I
remember.
remember. I know that.
Last year.
I want to say Nunez
Jota,
maybe
maybe?
had a hat. Nunez had a hat trick maybe in a
In the
Europa game.
league? No, but
Not in the league.
no, I'm talking about the league here. I'm talking about the league.
The
So
league. No,
I
I don't
don't
know.
think we had one. I don't think we had a hat trick last season.
I know it's kind of wild, right?
Maybe Jota. Even that, I really don't think so because I think Salah. Yeah, see, I think what you say, Mo at Old Trafford, and that was a few years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a while. It has been a while.
It's wild like that. I mean, like in Europa, maybe even in the cup match, different story. I'm sure there's probably someone that has scored one, but
Jota, I think, has one definitely not that long ago.
in the hat trick, yeah.
And that would have been probably in a League Cup or something like that.
Oh, I can see that.
Maybe. I don't know though.
Yeah. I see you, Revenite. He says that's a slight shade towards Diaz. He doesn't believe he's getting a hat trick. Yeah, ton of braces, definitely. A ton of people got 2 goals, but I can't think of the last time we had a hat trick. That's pretty wild. I'll have to double. Yeah. We had a couple of braces. I know that certainly, but I mean, can't really think of anyone scoring hat tricks as of that's had a hat trick last year at least. I can't think of anyone having a hat trick. Maybe Mo Salah, but I can't even recall when his last hat trick was. That's sad. But it's sad that we haven't had a hat trick because I love hat tricks, but obviously it also shows our diversity in scoring. It's been maybe it's a Mo Salah hat trick incoming then. Now that we're speaking on it, maybe that's like the universe taking note. Robert's going to change it to a 6-0. Yeah, man. Good luck on that one. I just think that our team doesn't do. Our team is somewhat. I think the way that they're set up now with this control mechanism of controlling games, controlling the flow, that we don't really press for those. By not pressing as hard or as much for the goals per se, and just controlling the actual activity, we don't really. I don't know if we're going to see too many 5-0s and 6-0s and 7-0s.
Oh, 2021. Jeez.
Wow.
That's wow. Okay, lads, come on. What are you doing?
Really?
Jeez,
it's been that
2021.
long.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow, maybe we will see something from some we'll see something special for someone.
I mean, we were talking about it last night about strikers, and we were talking about the way with teams these days, the way teams are set up tactically, the way they share the play around a lot more. They don't have as many out and out goal scorers and focal points and like that. And I think that's just another indication there of the way that the goals are being shared, because we're not a low scoring team.
We're not.
We're a high scoring team.
Right.
If we were a really low scoring team, say if we were on average the 10th or 12th lowest scoring team in the Premier League, a
Mm-hmm.
stat like that would make a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at how many goals you actually do score, that is more, that to me is kind of illustrative of how we share goal, and all teams really share goals around it, because the days of the 25 goal a season striker, I mean, taking the cyborg out of it, are kind of gone. So yeah, it's a lot more, what, I don't know what the word, egalitarian, just
Mm-hmm.
shared around the goals a bit more. So like, I think
Wow.
someone, MK Toe was saying, I'd rather 3 trophies than 3 goals, and it's like, yeah, I'd rather us score 100 goals across the team than just have like one player that scores 30 and the rest of the lads are getting threes and fours.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you win more. If you do that,
There's
you're going to win more at
you
the
win
end of the
more.
day.
Yeah. 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 And plus, it's more difficult for teams to really like focus in on trying to like,
Yeah,
consolidate stopping one player if one or
man
two
mark
players.
some dude and
Yeah.
that's it, and you're kind of out of the
Yeah.
game.
There's what I did just Google it. Apparently, Mohamed Salah's hat trick against the Rangers in the UEFA Champions League on October 12th, 2022, is the most recent hat trick scored by a Liverpool player. Obviously, that's not in the league, but yeah, 2022, October 12th, 2022 is the last hat trick scored by a Liverpool player. Salah scored 3 goals in 6 minutes and 12 seconds, which is the quickest hat trick in the competition's history, by the way, as well. So,
That's what, nearly 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago.
yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Like I said, Rev, we take him out of the equation because it's not fair. It's not. It's like, oh well, most say strikers don't score that. Oh, Haaland scores 1 million goals. It's like, well, yeah, he fucks up everything. So you just take him out because it's not normal. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you look at everybody else, even look at City before they had him.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. They were getting go. I think like there'd be times when Gundogan was close to being their top goal scorer.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Yeah. And Revenite was right about the Mohamed Salah's last hat trick in the Premier League was against Manchester United in October 21. So it was 3 years ago
Yeah.
in the Prem and 2 years ago in the league, or excuse me, in general, in all competitions. That is so crazy. And that was actually, can anyone name how many hat tricks?
Well, Haaland has 2 already this season, just for
Yeah,
more
I know.
fucked up references.
Yeah.
Just to show you that numbers can be badly skewed. So, is that normal? No, that's completely abnormal to
Yeah.
have 2 hat tricks in 3 games, and then add another 2 in on top of that.
I was going to say, do you know? And what's kind of crazy is that you would have thought Mohamed Salah would have more, but do you know how many hat tricks Mohamed Salah has in general? Like, as in, how many times he scored 3 goals
In all comps, how many hat
in
tricks did
all?
you have in all comps? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
yeah,
For Liverpool or in
yeah.
his whole career?
Just Liverpool, just Liverpool.
Guess 5.
That's spot on. 5 in all competitions. Yes, all comps.
Yeah.
Four in just the Prem, but 5 in all comps. That's pretty crazy. Who do I have scoring my 3 in my 4-0 now? I'm going 4-0. Oof. I'm going to go with. I'll go with a double for Nunez. I'll go with a goal from Salah, and I'll go with a. I'm going to go with a Konate goal. I'm going to go with Ibra goal. That's my 4 goals. Those are where I got scoring. Yep, trap 5 and all. That's pretty wild. Tomorrow, though, what do you think the crowd's going to be like tomorrow? Do you think they're going to be do you think they're going to step it up and be a raucous crowd, or trying to make the atmosphere? Because I mean, like, I'm hoping that we don't have to hear the commentators talk about how the crowd is. The atmosphere is unlike Anfield today. You know what I mean? Like one of those situations.
Yeah. I think we're going to get the usual. It's going to be quiet. It'll start
Yeah.
off noisy, and then it'll go quiet. Because I mean, I'm not really surprised anymore. That's just what tends to happen.
Mhm.
And hopefully, you'll get a bit of noise out of Forest fans, which will, which in turn makes the kind of bumps up the Liverpool fans just as much. But yeah, it does tend to be pretty quiet these days,
Mhm.
other than when the game is really kicking off. So if you give them goals, if you give them something to shout about, then they will. Unfortunately, it isn't so much a two-way street as some people kind of would put it on fans. Oh, it's up to the fans and this. It's yeah. Look, you can't turn up and sit on your hands and just say nothing. But it does kind of have to come from the football first.
Mhm.
That's where it will come from. The fans can only really do so much, even the best in the world. And these days, those are in those little pockets. The away fan types. It'll be yeah, it'll be quiet as usual, I think. And then if it kicks off, because it's a strong rivalry, so there is a bit of needle there.
Mhm.
Therefore, the Forest fans, not my favorite fans, but at least it's a good afternoon game. The weather should be nice, hopefully. But yeah, I'm not really expecting the old school atmosphere because I think that's what it is now. It's old school. That atmosphere those days are even on the Champions League nights
Yeah.
doesn't even have quite that same noise. But just yeah, a good crowd. Again, I don't like the Forest fans are pretty quick to get the songs out and the chants out. So hopefully you don't hear any of that. Which I think they turned the mics down if they pick it up because it was going on at Man United and you couldn't hear it on the TV, but you could hear all the other chants.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So yeah, they were scumbags last season.
What?
They
Yeah.
did
Oh
they
no,
didn't
they
get
were. They were. They absolutely were.
yeah.
Gosh, yeah. Yeah. There were a couple. There were a couple of crowds that actually really, really turned and ugly. Like guys, and it's. I get when you're losing or when you're obviously you're feeling very supportive of your club and the whole likes and minds. But there's ways you can support the club, and there's ways that you can go kind of out of bounds with supporting the club. And it's actually not support at all. Actually, if anything, you're trying to be very vindictive with your chants and the likes. And some of the chants that they were doing were just disgusting. And this shows like if you want to have you want to be respected and show that you have class, then act like you've been there before. And Forest isn't a no name club. I mean, like as we spoke before, they are a club that have obviously won great titles in their history. They should act as such. But real quick question for you, and this is for the chat too. Were you disappointed or even shocked? Let's think of some other words for you. Shocked, disappointed. Were you outraged, angered? That this is a personal award, I get it, but that Arnie Slot did not win Manager of the Month for us. Were you surprised to see that the Brighton manager has won? The Brighton manager won Manager of the Month. Did you think that he had a better showing than? I don't. How do you feel about that, Brian?
Well, I wouldn't. Obviously, I'm not angered or outraged or
Right,
shocked.
right, right.
I think he's had a brilliant start to the season, and maybe I don't know. Well, I don't. Maybe it's because he's a new man. I don't know, a young man, whatever it is. I don't. There's nothing really you can say about him that you can't really say about Arnold Slot.
Mm-hmm.
So again, yeah, I don't know really. I couldn't tell you who picks those. They're normally spot on, but they're usually a curse because very, very often the manager that wins Manager of the Month has a bad result afterwards. That's
Mm-hmm.
just the old adage. So, but yeah, I'm sure. I didn't even know that had happened. To be honest, he's what's his name? He has a funny name. I can't remember. I can never remember it. The guy at Brighton. I
Mm-hmm.
can never remember his name. Um,
Yeah.
he's doing a great job. Yeah. So yeah, fair play to him. But I mean, I reckon
Young, very young too. Very young
he's like
as well.
31 or something. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, he had a great start. So did Slot. He won all his games. So did Slot. He did this. He did that. So did Slot. Or even if he probably didn't win all his games, I don't know. Um, yeah, I really don't. Yeah, I'd imagine it's probably because of just because he's such a new manager or something. There, look, impossible to pick. So give it to new kid on the block. Fair play to him, kind of thing. Pat on the head. But
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, you could have been a joint. I don't know if they do that
I
really
don't know if they do that
anymore.
anymore
If they
either.
could do
Yeah,
joint manager of the month, you could have
I
easily
know.
made it Arne Slot. But I I hadn't noticed. I hadn't noticed. But apparently, yeah, apparently they're keeping the Brighton way. They're playing good football. They're bringing through decent players as per usual. So
Hmm.
it'd be interesting to come up against them. I'm not sure when we're playing them. Can someone put his name in the chat because it's really annoying me.
Okay.
Um, uh, thought they only. Yeah, I don't. That was the thing. I don't even know if they did win all their games.
I don't
Yeah,
think they have. I don't think they have.
was that the draw against? Was that they were playing when Rice got sent off? Was it? Was that who they
Yes.
were playing?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That was a
They
1-1. I
drew that
think.
game. They drew. They're 2-0-1, or they've won two. They won against Everton and they won against Manchester United, and they drew against Arsenal.
Fabian Hurlitzer.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. That
Okay.
is it.
Or Fabian, probably Fabian.
Fabian.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you, Hollywood Rock, and thank you, Red for Life.
Yeah. He's Swiss guy that is 31 years old, as you just mentioned. 31.
Younger than Endo, younger than Salah, younger than
He's
Virgil.
younger. He's younger than some of the
Younger
players
than
probably
Ali.
that play. I wouldn't be surprised he's younger than some of the players that are on his team. He's younger than he's certainly
Oh,
younger
yeah.
than
What about
Milner.
Milner?
So yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I mean, Pascal Gross went back to Dortmund and Lallana left, and they were all like in their 30s. But Danny Welbeck, they had one or two. Danny Welbeck, Millie, and there's another guy that centre half they have. He's in his mid 30s. So yeah, there's at least three that are starting 11 or older than him,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
that's pretty low.
I know the trend for. Well, I would have assumed his nickname was the Wurlitzer, but yeah, the trend for coaches getting Dunk is the guy I was talking about. Yeah, but that's extreme. Like I know Nagelsmann was very young as well, but he
Mm-hmm,
was seen as a bit of a Haaland, a bit of a freak.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But that to get a Premier League job at that age, I mean, fair, like that's to me that's completely mental.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how to play. I'm sure the players are probably these days. I mean, if you tried that 20 years ago, I mean, he would have been eaten alive in the dressing room. A 31
Yeah,
year old coach, he wouldn't have gotten. Like even Villas-Boas when he came in, he had to be immediately brilliant, and he was at like Porto and so in Portugal because he was so young. He had to be immediately brilliant. Otherwise, he just wasn't getting any basic respect at all. He's just a kid. And
right,
people at Chelsea are like, what are we doing? This guy's not even 40 kind of thing. It's like, how can you be a manager not even 40?
right.
Now now we're going down, he's barely out of his 30s and he's
Yeah,
managing a Premier
exactly.
League.
And he's managing a Premier League team and managing them well. Obviously, doing a very good job.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, there was talks real quick. We'll go into some Liverpool news real quick at the end of this. It's going to be we're only going to do an hour today, so just in case you guys think or have any questions or anything you guys want to talk about, definitely bring them up now. But I was going to also bring up the fact of there's been reports that obviously we know about the Zubamendi situation that we apparently are going to revisit that come January. But what is another uh, a very interesting article in the news right now is that apparently there's a German player that we are looking at targeting this, not necessarily this January, but we're going to actually look to pursue in this upcoming summer. It's a player that has not signed a new extension or a new deal with his parent club, and as of right now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now, whether he's got 24 months, he had 24 months left on his deal, or he had 2 years left on his deal, including this year. So, yes, Red Armchair supporter, Musiala. Musiala has become a major talking point, apparently, for Liverpool as a target that they would like to pursue if it is an option. Now, albeit we're definitely not going to break the. I understand that we did offer to break the wage, or not the wage, excuse me, the transfer record with Casado. Whether we would go so far over that, because that's what it would probably take, which is like 130, 150 million. I've heard as high to get this player. That's just not happening from any team. That's just not happening from any team. I don't think any team's paying 150 million for Musiala, despite the fact that he is a super talented player. I just don't think that those 130, 140, 200 million, which was paid, for Neymar type situations, is going to happen right now with the way that PSR is set up and how teams have to really go about managing their budgets. But Musiala, what would be the highest number that you would go? How high, how far, and how high would you go, Brian, to get Musiala if you had the opportunity for the 21-year-old?
Oh, is he on the market?
He technically is. So he has been offered a new contract. He's declined to negotiate with Bayern. So it's one of those situations where. Go ahead.
Which gives him how long left?
He's including this year. He has 2 years. So this is after this year. He'll be in his last year of this summer. He'll be in his last year.
I mean,
you
that's
can't.
A different price altogether.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
if you're
a
talking
whole
about him on
different
a
price.
5-year deal, if he's locked into a contract, but maybe it's just like typical. He's coming out, contracts on the table, play hardball. 2 years left. I'm in no rush. And then you flush out a bit of interest. You flush out some offers, and then you can make a case for more money. I'm not sure if he's like he came from England, so it's not like he's some kid that's like a Zubimendi or some kid like he's grown up in England. He's kind of in a foreign land there. He's half German, half English. He's not someone that I just kind of he's a Bayern kid and he's never going to leave and he's just going to get another 10-year deal there or something. So it could be the other side of that. So, like, if he only had 1 year left, I mean, when we were talking, I mean, there was a lot of our fans were out there saying, I don't care if he only has 1 year left. I wouldn't take less than 100 million for Mo Salah. Which I thought was probably a bit ambitious. So why would someone like a Musiala, who's probably worth about 100 million, why would they let him go for less than 100 million with only a year left? They probably still charge that. I wouldn't probably want to pay that for him. But if it was a situation where he had 5 years left, and you're saying what's the most you would pay to go and get him? I'd say 130.
130 million, jeez. Even with 1 year, even if it was this year, I can get.
No.
But if it was
no. I just said it.
Okay.
I said if he's locked into a 5-year deal.
Oh, if he's locked into a 5-year deal, yeah.
I know he's not. I just said, but hypothetically, if he was on a 5-year deal. And you're asking me then how much would I value him at? Because that's a better way to answer the question.
Yeah, sure, okay.
So let's just say you have to pay the money. That's what I'd go up to for him. But then the whole, he only has a year left thing, that's different. But I think that's what he's worth, probably on today's market. Yeah, I think so. I'd be happy. I'd be comfortable with that. I'd be comfortable if we had that to spend, if the club was happy to spend it, I'd be comfortable with it.
Tyler is saying there has been a lot of back and forth with Musiala. The new manager certainly did not help either. Trap Joe's going as far as to say Musiala is a 10, and he'd be surprised if Slot would need more talents on the 10 position. And let's see. I will be bringing up your question, Robert, in 1 second.
Yeah, not when I see happening. Definitely, I don't see us doing that move, but
And what
you
he
know,
said, he's
like what
seen
we say about us being opportunistic. I mean, him with a
he
year
is.
left,
I
that's
mean, yeah.
opportunity. Next year,
Tyler
that's
also
opportunity.
says Musiala is a Man City prospect. If they can get out of their legal problems, Real Madrid is well stocked at the moment for that position, at least. That's true. And I mean, yeah, he's not going to start over. He's not going to push Bellingham, or they're not going to have him as a backup to Jude or something like that. Here's a question for you, Brian. Red Armchair supporter asks, would you pay a similar amount for Rodrigo?
If Salah, I wouldn't, not as much, but I'd be happy to go to 100 for him. Yeah, okay. I'd be happy to go to 100 for him if that's what it took. And it was a deal to be done, and we needed him in that position, like not just to go out and do a deal or do a big boy deal and say, look at us, look what we can spend, and then think, oh God, what do we want to actually do with this player?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a Salah replacement, yeah, I think that's even with PSR. Hopefully it brings down a little bit, but I think for the very best, someone like Florian Wirtz, if you wanted him, what he cost you? If you wanted Foden, what would he cost you? You're still talking three figures for these boys. So, and I'd like us to be in that position. I'd like us to be in position to make those kind of moves. I've always said that I don't want us spending that money for the sake of it, but I'd like us to be a club that can do that. Someone said, look, the money's there to do that if we need to do it. Okay, look, we're not going out and being flash, but look, don't worry. If we need to do something, we have money in the bank. We're good. I'd like us just to be in that position.
Right, to have the ability to splash the cash when necessary. Definitely.
To be able to sit at the table, and not be
bullied out, right,
and scraping,
right, or even not even be bullied out of things by other clubs. At least that's not my perspective.
I just like it to be kind of like if the price, I think we've said it before, is kind of like, look, we can do whatever the price is, right? Not like whatever the price is, but like if Man City or Juve or something, they're willing to pay that, look, we can pay that too, okay? Mm-hmm. We can pay it. It's not a price thing. They've said it clubs like that before. We can match the price. Just want to be able to talk to the player. Then that's all you can do. But as long as you can, it's not one of those things where, oh no, City and Man United are here, we better go because we're gonna look, poor, we're gonna look silly with our few hundred million or a few $100 quid in our pocket, and they've got, I'm looking black Amex cards over here. So we need to be able to sit at the table just for our own sense of, the club that we are, and for clubs to know that we can still buy those kind of players or in the market for those kind of players.
Excuse me. Robert asked this question.
I disagree, Trap. We bid over 100 million for Caicedo. We paid 75 million pounds for Virgil van Dijk quite a while ago now, which was a world record for a defender and would easily be a 100 million pound player in today's money.
Yeah.
No, we don't go out and do it all the time, but very, very few very few people go out and sign 100 million pound players.
And on top of that,
we are. Yeah, look, we're not the richest club. We're not the most extravagant, but we've been able to do that. Well, what do you mean? Well, look, we made the bid, Joe. We put in the bid, which was 115, I think it was the bid for Caicedo. That money was there. If the player had accepted it, we were willing to pay it. Right. Football inflation, just on its own, regardless of ordinary inflation, would take that 75 million we spent on Van Dijk to very, very close to, if not 100 million.
I would even go as far as to say too, with the VVD.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp confirmed we did. Jurgen Klopp is on camera, Joe, saying we bid for the player. He's on camera in an interview the day it happened, saying we have put in an official bid for the player. It's up to the player. If you choose to believe that was just Klopp putting spin from FSG, cool. I can't do anything about that. But he's on camera saying it.
I was just going to add, though, that the VVD deal, at least for me, is that the VVD deals, we did have a opportunity to, go in for VVD earlier than we actually ended up doing, and it would have been for less money. obviously, for what we ended up spending. But I just go as far as to say, okay, yeah, we were comfortable getting that. I understand we got in trouble for apparently speaking to him or or engaging
Talk
with
them up.
him. Yeah, talking him up basically. But all the same, even though the price was, even though the price was, at put tax on top of that price because of doing such, it didn't persuade them to, back out of the deal or persuade them to cower from making the deal happen. They were determined to make that deal happen, and despite the fact they had to pay more, they'd still paid it. So and it was to our benefit in the sense of that we got our player and we got our captain.
Yeah, no one's sitting here saying we're on the market or we're in the market for every Neymar and Rodrigo and Endrick and these guys that come along.
Yeah,
and that they cost big money. But like we said, if the right thing is there, then the money is there usually to be able to go out and do it, but in specific circumstances. But I don't think you should need necessarily to spend £100 million to improve your player at one position. You should be with better scouting and all of that. You should be able to pick out someone I think better. You shouldn't need to ever spend that kind of money unless it's an exceptional situation like the Van Dijk one was. I think it's kind of unnecessarily that's just picking the world's best player and just going and buying him rather than actually just scouting and doing all the work behind the scenes that goes into identifying players.
Certainly, yeah.
But Doug is on the way, he said, to Anfield. So that's the atmosphere sorted tomorrow. No need to worry about the atmosphere.
There you go.
So have a safe journey, Doug, and enjoy the game. No doubt you will.
Yeah, big up Nolante, big up Doug as well. Definitely, Doug. Make sure that the chants are loud, and I'm sure Ian might be going with you as well. Maybe I don't know if Ian's going to the game or not. I know Ian goes to a couple of games here and there, but hopefully you guys keep everyone on their toes for sure. Nice rare Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff is nice to see. I wanted to answer this question.
3 changes. Sorry, to see that we got 3 changes and none of them were to a midday game.
Yeah,
which is rare. 3 kickoff times change, and all. One is like 8 p.m. on a Saturday night.
Wow.
That's a really weird time.
That's a
for
weird
a game.
time. Yeah, that is a weird time for a game. This is a question I did promise to answer. It was from Robert. He asked, do you think Endo could do a good job for us tomorrow in the Mac role? He says, I don't want to risk Mac's injury with Champions League around the corner. I could be in agreement with you in that. Will he do the Mac role? No, I don't think that he has the same skill sets as McAllister. But I will go as far as to say that it's just the role will change. The role will change with Endo in that. Personally, I would look at it if I was doing my tactician role, or I would certainly see that you put Endo in more of an anchored position as a DM, and you don't put him in precarious positions by trying to have him track back as much or get further or get too far up into the attack. You allow for, whether it's Cujo, whether it's Ryan, whoever that pivot player will be with him, you allow for that player to venture and do more of the running and the more of the venturing forward, and then have Endo just be basically the, do janitorial services in the sense he just mops up everything in that defensive midfield when it comes to trying to put out the fires. That's at least personally what I could see. You want to say something, Brian?
There's a much easier, because you've just basically spent, like, without meaning to, but you just basically spent like your whole time there explaining why he can't do it. You've just talked about all the things he can't do. So why, and again, not that Endo can't do things, but in the system. So why not just put Jones in instead of McAllister? Because Jones can do what McAllister does, much more. So if you wanted to change a McAllister, I would change McAllister, but I wouldn't be bringing in Endo for him. I'd be bringing in Jones for him. So then you could still have Gravenberch as your pivot or your deep line player, and then you could have Jones doing what McAllister does and Szoboszlai know what Szoboszlai does. That's a much smoother transition. The Endo one there, like you were talking about all the different changes, it's a much clunkier one. You know, I'd be more swap if it was going to bring in Endo, it would be give Gravenberch a rest and just let Endo sit deeper, but yet not do the Gravenberch type of role. But then again, it's so why would you ask him to do it? So it's a bit difficult to get him in when you have other like if I was just basically just on if you'd say to me McAllister is going to play tomorrow, would you play Endo instead of him or would you play Jones instead of him? I'd play Jones instead of him. That's just the way I would do it.
I
That
got
would
you.
be an easier one. But
I just think if anything, we've seen Endo in preseason with this system or with the system, and it just ended up being more like a makeshift, like he had like 2 10s, if anything, kind of concept.
Yeah.
And
maybe it just requires too much. I
then,
didn't see a lot of preseason, so I didn't see Endo in preseason, so I haven't seen him in this team at all.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So again, no, just off the first bat, I just think to me is Jones not a more natural fit for a McAllister replacement?
Yeah, no,
to me,
I understand why you're saying that. I understand why you're saying that. I don't know if Jones defensively is as astute as Maka, and I'm not saying Maka is like the end all be all defensively, but I'm just saying I just don't think that Jones is as astute defensively. So you are giving
that's
up
why
something
Mac plays.
there. Yeah,
that's why Mac plays.
Well, Mac,
got more,
he's
a better version
more,
of that role. Yeah, he can do it all.
More offense, more offense and defense.
He can do
measuring
everything.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's the closest thing to our Gundogan. You ask him to hold deep, he can hold deep. Ask him push forward, play 10, he can do that. So that's why he is who he is. If Jones is able to do that, all of it. So it's again, these are the ones for the manager. So we we'll put the cards out on the table and go, right, let's see which ones he goes with. And then when he does, we can go, okay, that's how he sees it. That's how he thinks he can fit in here because it really is. It's all a lot of guesswork at the moment because just to me, I think Jones gets in first. Chiesa, Nunes, I think they're the next three to get games. And I think he was hinting that maybe Harvey was unlucky, that he would have gotten some games if it wasn't for an injury, so they maybe fast track someone else.
No, it's interesting. I have the actual 22-man, or at least the Liverpool Premier League squad, basically, that has been deemed for this upcoming week. Alisson, Yadros, Kelleher, Trent, Gomez, Konate, Robbo, Tsimikas, Van Dijk, Endo, Gravenberch, Jones, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Chiesa, Diaz, Nunez, Salah, and Hatta, right?
But tight group. It's a tight group,
But the other two players that one of the two I can expect to see in the 22-man roster. But one I was kind of surprised to see because I really haven't heard too much about this individual player. Tyler Morton's on the lineup or on the league squad as well. That I can understand. But there is also a player that I haven't seen too much of, and that's a Tom Hill. Have you heard of Tom Hill by any chance? Tom Hill is a midfielder. Signed a long-term contract with LFC in 2020. 21 years old, 5'8". He's dual qualified for England and Wales, and also is maybe you heard of him because he also has Irish blood in him too. So he qualifies for England, Wales, and Ireland as well to be a player for it. But Thomas Hill has made the lineup. So that's with the absence of Harvey, we now have a Thomas Hill filling in that role. Kind of interesting. I haven't heard of him, but
nope.
Well, I guess we might see him play a little bit. Who knows? Yeah, I know Tom Hill. Look, yeah.
I thought maybe Neone might be in there, but
I thought Neone would. That's why I was surprised. That's why I'm saying that. I thought Neone.
Kind of building up the
Morton. I can understand. Morton I can understand, but again, Thomas Hill plays he plays midfield as well. So, but he plays currently he obviously plays for the U21s for us, but he's also getting an opportunity right now to be a name on the 22-man roster here, which is interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of people in the chat are kind of talking about the Curtis thing as well. It seems to be 50-50. I this got like we said it last year. It's a big year for Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, but he keeps getting little setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So if before you know it, you're going to turn around and Curtis to be 26.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll still be he's a prospect, or he's a guy with it. So he'll be one to keep an eye on. I think maybe this year, how many
Maybe
minutes he gets, how much he
maybe
plays.
maybe Thomas Hill is being included because he is a homegrown player. He's an academy graduate actually as well. So
Morton,
maybe
Morton
it helps
too.
out. Yeah, Morton as well, and maybe that's the reason why it helps with their ability to have obviously the added slots to the roster by having the homegrowns included, having the deemed number of homegrowns that you need to be included. But,
Like when we were talking about it the other night about depth and kind of and what everyone's the different version of, and I was just talking about having to a degree a like for like, and having the minimum in percentage drop off between those players. And when you go through that squad, there's that's what I think there is genuine depth in that squad, because there's pretty much most people could pick their first 11 from that and then pick their second 11, and none of the second 11 players are it's not like, oh god, they're all like people you go, oh no, that'd be fine if he played, that'd be okay. That wouldn't be massively detrimental to the squad. That might he's it's a really, really tight squad. I think he likes that. Not having too many players to keep happy, not having too many players to constantly be working with, and just everyone knowing their business and everyone know what to do. And it already looks very streamlined and very happy. I reckon the squad is kind of happy with itself, if that makes sense. It knows what it is. Everyone in it knows who they are and where they are, I think, at this stage. And that's all very good. So my prediction for Neoni getting minutes in the first team, that'll have to wait. Tyler Morton, central midfielder, that's an interesting one. Because he's highly rated. Then he goes out to Blackburn, then highly rated, and then it's but he could be sold. So but then other people get sold. Now he's in the squad. So he's someone that probably 2 years ago people were saying Morton and Basetic, who's going to be the better player, because they're both like deep line playmakery types,
right?
But so it's interesting to see him.
Yeah, it is interesting. Well, I also wanted to be sure to mention this too. September 13th is International Sepsis Day. Take a moment of your time to go to the internet, look up the symptoms of meningitis and sepsis. Protect yourself and those you love. That's a message from Marion. I'm not certain if it's affected her family personally or not, but it is a noble and noble cause to make sure that you're aware of. And I know that Marion's brought it up before, but I definitely wanted to include it as well to make sure that you guys understood the fact and importance of, recognizing your health. Back and forth. Now we're back. So yeah, I went out for a second, but yes. So we're going to. Oh wait, you have one more question. I got you. Hi, Lord. We got a question for you. Yes. Would you rather play McAllister tomorrow? Remember his recent injury, or rest him and play him against Milan on Tuesday. I've already given my answer. I said that I'd rest Mac in this game, and if anything, maybe give him a few minutes just to keep him, maybe give him like 20, 30 minutes at the end of the game or something like that. But I would rest him. I'd rest all my South American players except for obviously Nunez, who didn't have to play in South America competition. How about for you, Brian?
Yeah, Tuesday's quick turnaround. All right, I thought it was Wednesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday's
just 3 days.
Morton had a great season last year. If we got the DM, he said he would have been sold. Yeah, fair. That makes sense. Yeah, just I suppose probably no. If you're going to ask me that, because if he's not okay to play, Tuesday is a bit of a quick turnaround. All right. Yeah, changes things a little bit. Yeah, that might make a decision for him.
And then the following week or following game after that is only like I think 3 or 4 days as well.
Oh, it'll be Tuesday, Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Saturday. Yeah, no, this is like I said. I think I thought Milan was where I thought Bologna was the first game, so I thought that was where the squad rotation was going to come into it. So you wouldn't see the players rested in this game; you'd see them rested potentially in the Bologna game.
Mm-hmm.
Milan, not what they were, but a different proposition, and it's the Tuesday game. So I think if there is any kind of any doubt over McAllister, but he could still be. See, this is the thing we're learning. I'm learning anyway. I learned what I want to learn about Klopp. Our slot. He could still be one of those. Right, I'll give you an hour, coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I get it. You've had it long, and I need you to rest, and you're going to rest by only playing an hour. Other coaches will say, "I'm going to rest you by bringing you on for a half an hour."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know is which type of coach Slot is, or is he just is he the kind of guy that prioritizes Champions League and just rests them all together.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm not sure he has a huge. Obviously, he won't have a lot of Champions League credential or what's the word experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he knows like this will be a big game for him. His first Premier European Cup game at Liverpool. He's going to want to get and to go against a team like them. You can be as cool and calm as collected as you want, but he's going to be feeling the tingles that night, I think. So he's going to want to do it right. So this is again learning. Let's watch and see what he does, so we can kind of go what kind of player, like what kind of guy is he, what kind of moves does he tend to make? Because it's going to start coming thick and fast now. Like you said, it'll be Forest, then Milan, and then 3 days later it's who is it?
It's Brentford.
No, we play Brentford.
Not Brentford. Excuse me. I was looking too far up into. It's That's a good question. No, I'm too far up into the thing. So Forest, and then we play Milan, and then Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. So again, not as easy a game as it used to be. Bournemouth. So and ones that you don't want to lose. And but look, we won 4 games and we beat Milan, but you lost against Bournemouth. You won't get much room.
Right.
So Bournemouth and Anfield, that's handy. I like that. That's handy. 2 home games in a row. I'll take that. That makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, Bournemouth is another home game, and then
that's good. That makes it
even after that, the West Ham game, which was obviously rescheduled for the 25th of September, is a home game obviously as well. That's the League Cup game that we have. So we have three straight. Or we have Forest home. Obviously, go to Milan, but we have Forest home, Bournemouth home, West Ham home. So three. In England, we have 3 straight matches of
pretty cool
of home games, which is good.
I'll take that. Yeah, and that'll help you get the Like I was talking about last night, getting the points on the board before anybody knows it.
Right.
All very, very, again, I know West Ham Cup game, but the other two, another 6 points, and see where you are again.
Right. And I don't think that Arnie's only done Europa. He has not done Champions League. So this will be his first Champions League.
Okay, yeah, nice intro there.
Yeah. So yeah, go to one of the most historic grounds in Europe. Have at it. Well, we'll see.
I mean,
we'll see.
yeah, it's only Liverpool versus AC Milan. Like it's not like they have any famous games. Or
Yeah, they don't have.
I
don't know if they have any history. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some game in Istanbul or something like that.
Something
I remember a while
like
ago,
that.
something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, he's right in at the deep end.
Against one of possibly one of the greatest AC Milan teams of all time, basically too. Yeah.
But you're that's what you're in it for. But like that's what you do it to be team manager. Liverpool going out to San Siro against them in the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's not going to get. Again, we talk about players leaving Liverpool. It's not really going to get much better for him as a manager.
Yeah.
Already, I mean, this is close to the pinnacle, and he's still young and up and coming guy. So
yeah,
he's handling it very, very well at the moment. I'm sure he has his moments at home or whatever, but he's handling it really, really well so far. Stony face and keeping calm and cool. It helps when you win every game 3-0.
It does. It definitely does. But yeah, so again, I know this is only going to be it was going to be a somewhat short preview. I know everyone is used to some of the broadcasts that we do here going 3, 4, maybe if not 5 hours, if not longer. But yeah, we're going to be bringing the Live Bird down for a rest so that we can get into this weekend properly. I'm trying to get set up for my weekend early so that I can hopefully be able to join some of the Reds at the local boozer, or maybe on a watch along or something, or or whichever. Whichever's the case, we all walk along. We'll all walk together, never walk alone. So I wanted to make sure that I got this preview in and gave a good shout to all my Reds out there. Big ups to all of you. Brian, is there anything you want to say to people before we allow for them to enjoy the rest of their TGIF?
No, just thanks for coming in, and hopefully enjoy the game tomorrow. Obviously, I hope all your score predictions come true.
Yeah. We'll see about possibly doing like a early reaction show, like viral reaction show maybe, or something like that. But again, we here on the channel, we like to, at least myself, I like to watch the games over. So I usually watch the game live and then obviously watch it in replay to kind of get a good bird's eye view from another perspective, instead of just being so emotionally wrapped up in all my opinions and the likes. But we might do a reaction show on Saturday, might not. I'm not certain. Depends on the availability of Brian and Lee and the guys. So, but we will certainly be doing a Sunday review of the game. So be sure to do that. We'll also give a little bit of a preview, most likely, of any of the games that will be going on later on that day too. So be sure to join us then. But as always, I would love to say, hope that you guys have an enjoyable Friday. And like I said, always, up the Reds, people, up the Reds. Okay, enjoy the game, everyone. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you either tomorrow or Sunday, either or. All right, and we'll talk to you soon.